It's the holiday season, and now is when all the unhealed wounds come out to play. Now is when all the secret jealousy comes out to play. So in this video today, let's cover how to deal with jealous manipulators, whether they're in your family or not, how to protect your energy, and how to stay grounded around people who resent your growth. So new levels may bring new challenges, but clarity, boundaries, and integrity will always win. Even if sometimes it's a bit slower, even if sometimes karma is a bit slower than what many of us would like it to be. So this holiday season has a funny way of bringing up to the surface. Let's bring up the joy and the gratitude, but unfortunately it also does bring up that jealousy. So if you're heading into the end of year celebrations, if you're heading into Christmas lunches, family gatherings, community events, or social catch-ups with people who aren't doing as well as you are, and more importantly, aren't willing to do the work that you have done, then you need to be prepared ahead of time. You need to be prepared, not paranoid, be prepared. Because this is a season when jealous manipulators feel most exposed. Why do the holidays trigger such jealousy? Holidays trigger jealousy because they shine a spotlight. They highlight who is thriving. They highlight who's growing, who's peaceful, and who's stuck. And when someone is stuck by choice, watching you expand can feel unbearable to them. They can take it as a personal slight against them, even if you have nothing to do with them, anywhere, anytime. So instead of doing their own inner work, they make snide comments about you. They play subtle victim games, trying to make something in their life your fault. They twist narratives. They project their envy onto you, and they will tell anyone who listens, even if it's whispered behind the scenes. And then this is the key. They try to make you look like the problem. If I can't rise to their level, I'll try and pull them down to mine. Seems to be some people's credo. So new levels can bring new devils. And this is an energetic truth. So don't engage in any drama. There's a universal pattern most people don't talk about. And for instance, when someone wins the lottery, unscrupulous people come out of the woodwork looking for free money. And the same thing happens when you do your inner work. The same thing happens when you heal your shadow, when you heal your inner child, when you rise above the pain and suffering of the past, when you rise above the betrayals and forgive the betrayers and the persecutors. The same thing happens to you when you strengthen your discernment, when you rise in emotional and spiritual maturity. Except this time, what they're trying to steal isn't money. This time, what they're trying to steal is your energy, your credibility, your influence, and your spiritual authority. Think of it like an inheritance. One sibling quietly tries to discredit or isolate all the others so that they can claim the whole lot for themselves. Same behavior, different currency. And I know a woman who became so desperate to be seen as superior to me that she made it her mission to destroy my credibility Instead of getting educated, instead of getting a job, instead of doing community work or helping others in any way whatsoever. She criticised my appearance. She's so hung up on my hair, it's beyond comprehension. Anyway, she told people I was a fraud and ran a smear campaign behind my back. Not because I did anything to her, but because my very existence threatened the image that she was selling. She positioned herself as a spiritual authority doing intuitive work or tarot-style messages to influence the people around her. To influence the people around her according to her own hidden agenda. So whenever someone began questioning her narratives or waking up to all of the inconsistencies, she would pull them back in with charm, create social dependency, and re-establish loyalty through distraction and excess. She pulled them back in through control. And like many manipulators, she didn't need the truth to win. She only needed confusion, secrecy, and plausible deniability. And she also needed and relied upon people around her who actually knew the truth to not speak up and defend my personal character, even when they knew the truth themselves. So here's what I learned. When someone has to destroy you to survive, it's because your clarity threatens their illusion. Because here's what jealous manipulators do, especially at Christmas. They'll frame your success as arrogance. They'll portray your boundaries as some brand of cruelty or selfishness. They'll cast themselves as the victims. They'll project onto you everything that they're secretly doing behind the scenes against you. They'll suggest that you've changed when what you really did is stopped tolerating their nonsense anymore. And most dangerously, they'll try to bait you into reacting. They'll try to bait you into reacting because if they can get you to emotionally be defensive or off balance, they can say, see, that's what they're really like. Even though they manipulated and orchestrated the situation in the first place. So, what can you do? How can you protect yourself this holiday season? Stay impeachable. Do not sink to their level. No gossip, no retaliation, no explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Because your integrity is your armour. Don't take the bait. If someone throws a sideways comment, pause. Silence is not weakness. Silence is often restraint. And you don't need to attend every argument that you're invited to. What else can you do? You can strengthen your inner authority. Jealous people try to destabilize you because they don't have an internal compass. But you do. So trust and strengthen it. Don't outsource your self-worth to anyone who hasn't earned the right to speak into your life. What else can you do? Increase your energetic hygiene. Just like if people are coughing and spluttering around you, this is emotional virus season. If people are lying, whining, bitching and crying, if people are projecting jealousy, manipulative, game-playing games or ill wishes on your good reputation, sleep well, eat cleanly, limit alcohol, limit sugar, ground yourself, spend time in nature, and most importantly, disconnect from drama heavy conversations. Most importantly, disconnect from drama heavy people. You know the ones who are always talking about people behind their back, the ones who are always talking about you behind your back, the ones who are always spreading gossip and lying, whining, bitching and crying. Remind yourself that your nerve system is sacred real estate. Remind yourself every day that your nerve system is sacred real estate. Because if you're a truth teller, if you're a healer, a leader, or simply someone who refuses to live in denial, it's probable some people will want you to lose everything. If you're any sort of truth teller, it's probable some people will want you to lose everything instead of them having to face themselves, having to face their choices and what they've actually done, that they are so desperately trying to hide. And if you're one of the ones who can see what they're trying to hide, then you're really likely to be in the hot seat. So don't be paranoid, be prepared. Them trying to hide their secrets, it's not your burden. Your job is to not dim your light. Your job is to hold steady. Your job is to stand your ground without animosity. Don't lower your vibration and step out of your own integrity against your own values to join them. That is not a service to yourself or your community. Your job is to stay in your whole potential, to stay on your path, to stay in your destiny. These are your jobs because jealousy feeds on chaos and it starves in clarity. So it's your job to stay clear, to stand in your clarity. What is the best Christmas self? What is the best Christmas present that you can give yourself? Peace, boundaries, and the refusal to carry somebody else's unhealed wounds into your